And we welcome you into Pride Pregame. Kendrick Fruits here with you as we count you down to kickoff between Greensboro College and Averett University. It was a tough last week for men's soccer, but they come out of it relatively unscathed, all things considered. A 2-2 draw against Randolph on Wednesday, then a 2-0 defeat of crosstown rival Guilford, 2-0 in that one, and then a 0-0 draw against Berry on Sunday. And a couple of things that we saw as the week went on. Some things surprise, some things maybe not so much. First off, Jay Deanna continues to be as good as advertised. The freshman now with 4 goals this year, which is the most by a freshman already since Craig Thomas scored 5 goals in 2022. Elsewhere, Alvaro Hermosa continues to perform excellently in net, saving all 11 shots that he has recorded so far, and it's led to back-to-back clean sheets on Saturday and Sunday against Guilford and Berry. Now, on the flip side of things, a couple of good, pleasant surprises, if you will, over the weekend. We got to finally see Eddie Hemington. We got to finally see Elias Goldsberry, and I think we were very impressed with what we saw from both of them. Hemington playing very good defense for Greensboro, and Goldsberry with very good on-ball skills. We saw some bursts of speed for him as well. And I think one of the big things for Greensboro, and obviously we can't take away from Hermosa and how good he's been, but I think one of the big keys for the Pride has been the play of the defenders, whether it be Hemington, whether it be Ghazenfari, whether it be Elkabis, whether it be Nagash. I think all those guys back there are allowing Greensboro some opportunities on offense. And one of the things that Stephen and I talked about in the broadcast on Saturday, or Sunday rather, was the closing speed of those Greensboro defenders, how an opposing forward may be able to get past them, but I don't think you're going to stay in front of them very long in a foot race. And a lot of times when they're going back to chase a loose ball, it normally ends up in Greensboro's possession because of that speed. You'll hear from Coach Weinshank here in a little bit as we talk a little bit about what having some of those good defenders can do for you on the offensive side. He talks a little bit about the versatility. He talks a little bit about the depth of this team, and we've really been able to see it the last couple of days. They got through a big challenge this weekend, which is their first back-to-back of the season. And I think for the Pride now, it just continues to make them stronger as they start to approach their conference play. An ODAC opponent today in Averett, who's kind of had an up and down start to their year, but an ODAC opponent is still an ODAC opponent, and that means something here in this on this campus. So for Greensboro tonight, still a big game. They come into today's game 2-0-2 as they look to continue. I was joking with Coach Weinshank the other day, and we were saying, hey, nobody wants to be the first coach to lose a game this fall. He hasn't lost yet. Women's soccer 2-0-1. Volleyball is 4-0. And, of course, football won their season opener against Guilford this past Saturday. So the pressure is on these coaches a little bit. And obviously, we joke around about it, but it's a big deal for them. Nobody wants to be that coach to pick up the first loss. And Coach Weinshank feels good about their chances today, as you would with a guy like Alvaro Hermosa in net and with the offense that Greensboro has had recently. One of the other big things, obviously, we've talked about Deanna a little bit, but it's starting to be that presence of secondary scorers a little bit. Gustav Oman scored his second goal of the year against Guilford, and we've also seen Ori Edry get a couple of shots on goal recently, as well as some others. But the big thing for Greensboro, I think, with the way that Deanna has started this year, obviously he's going to be a focal point of any opposing defense. So if you can really start to establish that secondary, that tertiary scoring threat, I think that certainly opens up things for you on offense a little bit more. Well, we've got a whole lot still to come here on the Pride pregame before we get set for kickoff tonight. We have a look back, not just at the Berry highlights, but we're going to put the whole weekend together, the win against Guilford into the draw against Berry, and then we'll hear from Coach Weinshank. That's all coming up as Pride pregame continues on the Greensboro College Sports Network. No, we'll have to do the women's one now. And Hermanson boots it in towards the net. The redirect and a nice save by Vidal Peraza. Reached out the right hand and able to redirect it. With how young this team is and with how new a lot of these people are. That one is sent in towards the box, battled for out in front, headed by Hermanson, and a good save by Vidal Peraza, but the redirect score. I believe that was Gustav Oman, and the Pride take a 1-0 lead.
And a shot. Oh, what a save by Hermosa. Hermosa goes up and extends, full extension right hand. Saves that one from going top shelf. 2:15 to go. This is Jacob Garbia. Sends that one to Hermosa. Makes a nice save and kicked out of bounds by Hall. Guilford, but Nagash with it. He's going to clear it. Sends it up the other way. Oh, here comes Omen. This could develop into something. Omen with a nice pass to Deanna. Deanna fires this one out and scores! Jade Deanna, lower left corner. His 4th of the year. And the Pride double their lead 2-0. A nifty pass there from Gustav Omen. And Jade Deanna with his 4th goal of the season. So that's the most goals by a Greensboro College freshman since Craig Thomas scored 5 in 2022. Clock winding down to the final 10 seconds. Good slide tackle by Hemington. And Guilford not going to push it any further than that. And Greensboro, with their first victory in men's soccer against Guilford since 2017. 2-0 your final score. Some of the teams that Greensboro's faced earlier, good feed to the top of the box. Here's a shot on the ground to Hermosa. Shot by number 21, Charlie Stokes, and his teammates laughing at him a little bit. I don't think he got as much on that shot as he was hoping as he turned the corner.
He rolled over on that one, as we would say in baseball or softball. He hit the top of the ball and just kind of rolled it to Hermosa.
An easy 6-4-3.
There you go.
Foster's service into the box, headed. Hermosa, he clearly saved it. I can't see, but he clearly saved it as it comes out towards the Greensboro bench.
I don't know who shot it, and
I don't know how many players touched it. Or Stevenson feed in front of splits a couple Greensboro defenders. Odd carom on that one. A lot of spin. That one sent back in on net, headed just wide of the net again. Another golden opportunity for Barry. This one fed on up ahead by Hermosa, and that should just about do it. A defensive struggle here at Pride Field this afternoon, as Greensboro and Barry will play to a 0-0 tie here this afternoon.
Time now for our Coach's Corner, why don't we call it, with head coach Jake Weinshank. And Coach, you've passed your first back-to-back test of the year, if you will, with a shutout victory against Guilford and then a 0-0 draw against Barry. Just kind of walk us through your overall thoughts on the weekend.
Yeah, I was pleased. Obviously, it's the rivalry game, so it was really, really big to get a win in that and kind of change the narrative of that game. And then had to turn around and play a very, very quality opponent in Barry. And I thought the guys, worked really hard despite the long weekend, and we were able to come out with a result in a tough game.
What did you learn about your team having to play back-to-backs against tough opponents, and what did they learn about how to handle those kind of situations going forward?
Yeah, I think I learned how resilient they are. They just kept working throughout the weekend. Guilford was a big, energy game where you're exhausting a lot of energy against an emotional opponent and things like that. So their ability to kind of recover and key back into Barry and get a result there was big.
I feel like I'm asking you about this every single game now, but how big was Hermosa again coming up with 5 more saves on Sunday?
Yeah, Hermosa was massive, man. He just keeps showing his quality over and over again. Real leader on the back line, makes the saves, the important saves he needs to. So really pleased with him, really pleased that he's here.
We talked a little bit about in games past. Obviously, we know what Deanna brings to the team, and Gustav Omen starting to become a big part of this offense. One guy that's starting to get a few more looks in front of the net that I've seen recently is Ori Edry. Talk a little bit about some of those secondary scoring options that you have on offense and the way they've started to get comfortable.
Yeah, Ori, he's really fought his way into some good playing time in the last couple of games. His movement off the ball is fantastic. He can really finish in front of the net, given opportunities. And he's not naturally a forward maybe, but he's really embraced the role. And I think he's done well. Another one's Elias, who's coming back from the injuries, and I think we've all seen how quality he is on the ball, how good he is 1v1, and I think once he starts getting some goals and assists, they're just going to keep coming for him.
I'm glad you mentioned Elias, because that was actually the topic of my next question. I was really impressed with the ability that he had with the ball, as you mentioned, but then just his bursts of speed as well, able to get past an opponent. And we already know you've got quite a bit of speed on this team, but I feel like that just adds a whole nother dynamic to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Elias was a player we're really excited about coming in. He was our first domestic recruit in the class that kind of got that Jacksonville crew going. But yeah, he was playing really high level soccer in Jacksonville, and I think his quality is starting to show as he comes back from that injury.
ODAC opponents are always tough. Tell us a little bit about this Averett team.
Yeah, it will be different than when we played yet. Their play style in terms of being a little more balanced in the attack is closer to us than anyone we played, so it'll be a new challenge for the guys. We had a good scout yesterday, very specific about like certain areas that we're looking to exploit on them, but they'll have very good players, kind of be like us, a little mix between the international and domestic as well. So when you're playing your mirror at times, it can be a bit tough.
Last question, Coach, keys for the game today.
Yeah, I think it's just executing the game plan. The guys were really bought into the scout. We had a good training session yesterday. Just kind of keeping that momentum going, executing what we know how to execute on the field. And then if we can keep the defense stout as they've been in the last 2 shutouts, I think we have a really good chance.
Coach, thank you so much. Best of luck today.
Appreciate it, Kendrick.
More on the Pride pregame show when we come back.
Time now for a quick look at what else is going on around the conference today. This is the only game in progress, or that will be in progress through the duration of it. Later on this evening at 7 o'clock, Mary Baldwin on the road at Randolph. William Peace will be taking on Regent. Eastern Mennonite is on the road at Southern Virginia. All of those games beginning at 7 p.m. A couple of games from yesterday. Piedmont fell to Pfeiffer 2-1 yesterday in Meisenheimer, while Methodist a 1-0 victor over Roanoke. William Peace blanked Guilford 3-0 last night in Cary. As far as when conference play is set to begin, not that far away. We take a look at just a quick peek up ahead in the schedule, and we'll start seeing our first conference games coming up the last week of September. It will be Saturday, September 27th. USA South play begins. Greensboro will play their first conference opponent Wednesday, October the 1st. That's a look at what's going on around the conference. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineups and get this one underway. It's Greensboro College, it's Averett, and it's next on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
And now here's your starting lineups for your Greensboro College Pride. In goal, junior number.
Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories.
We are moments away from getting this one started here on the campus of Greensboro College. Greensboro Pride men's soccer 2-0-2 coming into today's game. Hello, everyone. Kendrick Fruits here with you from in between the two benches here at Pride Field that separate the home team and the visiting team. Speaking of, why don't we take a look at today's starting lineup. In goal, Anibal Lopez today for Averett. The rest of their lineup, Gutierrez, Alvarez Del Rio, Sierra, Garcia, Pintos, Gafuni, Marellis, Bradley, Hascom, and Blanks. As for Greensboro today, more or less the same lineup we've seen all year. Hermosa in goal, Stepurik, Elkabas, Rudel are the defensemen, Hermanson, Cardona, and Medina Beltran, as well as Omen, your midfielders, and Nagash as well. And then Garcia, Barrios, and Diana are your forwards today. Greensboro coming off a 0-0 draw with Barry on Sunday. Averett coming off a 3-0 loss against Pfeiffer back on the 3rd of September, so that was a week ago today. They've had a week off to get ready for this game. The Cougars come into today 1-1-1, a 1-0 win against Shaw, a tie 1-1 at William Peace, and then that 3-0 loss against Pfeiffer. Diego Gifuni with 1 goal, tied for the team lead with Daniel Sierra. No assists for the Cougars this year. In net, Anibal Lopez, 1.33 goals against average. He saved 12 goals, saved 12 shots, has allowed 4 goals. That's a .750 save percentage. He does have 1 shutout on the year. Your game time weather today. It's gotten a little more overcast as the day has gone on. No concerns as far as rain at the time. It is currently 78 degrees and breezy. By the time we are finished here this afternoon, could be more like 76 or so. Nothing crazy temperature-wise. What we have is pretty much what we expect to get over the duration of the next 2 hours. Greensboro will control here on the beginning of what will be a soccer doubleheader. Women's soccer taking on Johnson and Wales following the conclusion of this match. Cardona ready, we're ready, and we're underway here in Greensboro. Hermanson sends it near side to Nagash, who fires this one down, looking for Diana. It's going to be headed away by Averett until a couple of back and forth volleys here. It will be settled by the senior Hudson Bradley for a moment, poked away though by the Pride. And Greensboro with possession, feeding this one up ahead to Diana. Nice move by Cardona. Diana trying to split between a couple of defenders. And Diana's pass was looking for Omen, instead sent back to Lopez. One thing we saw from Greensboro against Barry on Saturday, check that on Sunday, really struggled to establish anything in the offensive end. And so I think right there already you're seeing the Pride comfortable in the offensive end. This one sent all the way down the other side of the field where it'll be sent back to Hermosa. Hermosa long feed up ahead towards the center line. It's headed away there by Averett. They'll try to settle it. Omen going with Diego Gafuni. And it's going to be Averett who comes out of that scrum with possession. Alvarez Del Rio sends this further on. Was looking for Bradley, I believe. It goes out of bounds. Alvarez Del Rio can't get between a couple of Greensboro defenders. Garcia, Barrios, and Diana. That one's out of bounds. It'll be Greensboro possession. And Nagash sends it into Stepurik, who passes it further on down the pitch. We have our first whistle of the day. We're just underway, a little bit over 2 minutes or so into the contest. And Nagash sends that out of bounds. talked a little bit to Coach Weinshank in the pregame show about the defense, and obviously Nagasha midfielder, but has been fantastic on the defensive side of things this year. Sierra sends this across to, I believe that was Gutierrez down there. Long feed up ahead. Taken there by Morellis. Averett trying to establish something in their attacking end of the pitch. Back and forth at the far sideline they go. And another whistle there. I think there might have been a hand touch on the Cougars. It will be Greensboro possession. And I believe that's going to be on Hanscom. Merrick Hanscom, the sophomore. Hermosa going to bomb this one away on the free kick. No shots on goal as of yet. The game against Barry on Sunday, first time this year as Hermosa's kick goes out of bounds. First time this year Greensboro was outshot by an opponent. 10-4, the final number there. Contact on the far side, but it's going to be cleared out and roll back towards the center. But we have another stoppage. And it'll be a Greensboro foul. So Sierra gets this back in play. Crossing pass to Alvarez Del Rio, who now crosses the center line. Fed on up ahead to Haraba. And another stoppage. Stepurik sends this across to Rudell. Greensboro crossing the center line. Gustav Oman working between a couple defenders. Juan Medina Beltran comes up with the loose ball, but he'll send it out of bounds. And Deanna is tripped up, an Averett player up there on the far side. It'll be a push on Deanna, and we continue on. Alvarez Del Rio working on Cardona, now across to Gafuni. Gafuni passes it further on. Now back to him. Fires this one over towards the left corner. Bradley, that's headed away. Averett trying to settle it. It's going to roll towards the far left corner. Trapped there for a moment. Now trying to work in towards the net. Good defense there by the Pride. Mika Rudell trying to clear it. Can't quite get it all the way out. Cardona sends this across to Hermanson. Hermanson going up across to Cardona, to Oman. Oman trying to split the gap and find Garcia Barrios in the middle. That pass intercepted. And here comes Averett the other way. It'll roll out of bounds. It'll be, I believe, Okabus to throw that in. Greensboro with it for a moment. Gustav Oman's pass intercepted. Averett coming up the other way. Trying to split between a trio of Greensboro defenders. Mika Rudell there to intercept that pass. Sends it back the other way. Back and forth across the center line we go. Gafuni sends it across now to Alvarez Del Rio. Almost tripped up there by Garcia Barrios. Sends it across anyways to Gutierrez, the senior. Gutierrez trying to work past Gustav Oman. Sends it back to Alvarez Del Rio. Alvarez Del Rio with a long run for Hanscom. Is he able to settle it? Gets past Greensboro with it, at least for a moment. That one skied in and off of the football play clock. Out of bounds, Greensboro ball. 37-30 remaining in the first half. Greensboro, we talked about the fact that they were not able to get anything going against Berry on Sunday. In fact, you want to look at it a little bit further. They haven't scored since 30 minutes to go in the Guilford game. So that's, 120, coming up on 130 minutes without a goal for Greensboro. Jade Deanna's goal at 59. The 59th minute in the Guilford game, the last time the Pride were able to find the back of the net. Right now, it's Averett trying to get something going. Sierra trying to work around Hermanson, now sends this back towards the middle. Gifuni's going to miss on settling that pass, and Gutierrez with it. Fed back towards the far right corner. Long service there, headed away by Nagash. And it will roll out of bounds. Diego Sierra will throw it in. Trying to find his man in the corner. Nagash there. Greensboro's going to take it away. Garcia Barrios to Nagash. Long feed up ahead. And Diego Gifuni will settle it, send it back to his goalkeeper, Lopez. Quite a few Spaniards on this Averett team. In fact, 4 of their starting lineup hail from Spain, including the goalkeeper, Lopez. Gifuni sends it on up ahead. That pass intercepted and whiffed on by Nagash. This could be an opportunity for Bradley. Bradley lays it back for Alvarez Del Rio. Sends this to Morellis. And that one crossing pass headed away by Greensboro. Possession fought for. Cardona almost had it, trying to work his way around Sierra. Instead, going to be sent in and sailed out of bounds off of the foot of Morellis.
Sierra, good step. Yeah, Hugo, go. Hugo, you can go.
34-45 to play. Alvaro Hermosa will send this one away, looking for Garcia Barrios on the near boundary to Deanna. Good defense, though, by the Cougars, interrupting the passing lane. That's sent back to Lopez. Once again, Averett trying to set things up deep in their own side of the pitch. Greensboro trying to apply a little bit of pressure here defensively. Averett has not really been able to advance. And that pass broken up there by Nagash. He's got to work through a couple defenders. He does, right over the head of Garcia Barrios. That's going to be kicked out of bounds. And off of the roof of the Student Union, we almost had 2 balls in play there. Kale Hermanson applying some pressure on defense, trying to work around the corner is Pintos. Now to Nagash, right in between the legs of a defender. That's going to roll all the way back to Lopez. One shot for Averett. It was Marilis. And that's all so far on the stat sheet. 2 fouls per side. Nagash to Cardona. Cardona's pass looking for Deanna was intercepted, but a good slide tackle right in front of our vantage point by Nagash. Sends that ball caroming out of bounds. It'll be Averett to throw in. Alvarez Del Rio with the throw in to Sierra. Long feed up ahead to the far corner. Haraba racing for it, but it's Mika Rudell that gets to it first, headed by Nagash. And Greensboro trying to clear it now. Medina Beltran now to Cardona. Garcia Barrios now trying to chase after it. And again, the Pride will clear it away from what was almost a hairy situation in front of the net. Good defense again by Nagash, kicking that one out of bounds. Preventing Bradley from corralling it. This one sent out into the middle. Gutierrez with it. It's sent back the other way. Deanna chasing after it. As it's bounding towards the sideline, Deanna will settle it. Greensboro's got numbers here for a minute. And Deanna's pass intended for Medina Beltran intercepted. But a nice slide tackle by Jay Deanna up the far side keeps it from advancing further, at least for the moment. And Averett throws it in. Gaffuni with it. Now to the near side, it's Alvarez Del Rio. He's calling for a teammate to come give him a little bit of an assist. Now looks for Hanscom. Headed away by Nagash. Good defense again by Isak. Now Cardona with it in the middle. Cardona looking ahead for Deanna, goes around him to Gustav Oman. Oman settles it, fires this one. It's going to go just wide of the net. Greensboro, a good look there on offense. Gustav Oman. Kick with the left foot a little bit wide. Greensboro's first shot of the night. Oman came into today's game with 9 shots this year, 4 of them on goal and 2 of them resulting in scores. All started against Carolina Christian. He scored 1 goal on 2 shots on goal, 6 shots total. Scored again against Guilford on Saturday. 15 minutes in the books here. Third of the way through half number 1. On what is already the, what is this, 1, 2, 3, third home game for men's soccer this year. Fourth home game against this year for Greensboro. I skipped one on accident. That one headed out of bounds. Nope, thought it was going out of bounds. And now it does off the head of Garcia Barrios. Bit of a bug or virus or some sort going through the locker room. Not 100% is the Greensboro College roster today. We'll see if having to play with a little bit of a depleted depth has anything to do with the outcome of today's game, as that serve is turned aside and a shot into the corner. And just off of the net. Thought it was a score at first, but just wide. Goes past Hermosa. Alvaro Hermosa has stopped everything he has faced this year. That one just missed. That was Marlis on the shot. Medina Beltran sending that one out of bounds. Yeah, Alvaro Hermosa, Defensive Player of the Week consideration this past week. He's already won that title once this year in the USA South. He is 16 for 16 in saves this year. As Cardona to the turf. He saved 7 shots against Carolina Christian, 2 each against Randolph and Guilford, 5 against Berry. And so far today, not officially challenged yet. Bradley with it, working his way past Nagash. Now Nagash and Hanscom fighting for it. Garcia Barrios wants to get in on the action as well. That'll roll out of bounds. Averett to throw it in. Gafuni bounces this up ahead to Morellis. Back to Gafuni, sends it further back to Alvarez Del Rio. Crossing pass to the far back, now to the goalkeeper Lopez. Lopez skies this one ahead. Nagash says, nope, I'll send that the other way. Headed by Medina Beltran. Now to Cardona. Was looking for Garcia Barrios. Will now find him on the near boundary. This one sent in towards the front. Diana will duck down, and Omen shot, score. No, there's a whistle. I think they're going to call Greensboro for an offsides. Garcia Barrios shot. I'll tell you, Diana ducked his head down, and it landed right in the lap of Omen, who just buried it. And again, you want to talk about a storyline for Greensboro College men's soccer this year. It's goals that don't count. We're 26:50 to play. Garcia Barrios now trying to apply some pressure defensively. We'll see if Greensboro is able to turn things around here and reset. This one up ahead to Diana. Diana with it, trying to settle a turn shot, and that's going to be picked up at the near post by Lopez. Can Greensboro block out the misfortune and continue to play hard? That one's sent away by Lopez and turned back aside by Rudell. Greensboro going to get in the way of it, though. Rudell settles it. Now back to Elkabus. This is further on to Diana, but headed away by Sierra of Averett. Sierra's pass a mile high in the air. Stupurik and Hanscom fighting for it. This sent further on up ahead to Haraba. Haraba trying to work past his defender, but Mika Rudels is not having any of it, and he'll fire it out of bounds. 25:40 to go. And it'll be a throw in near the near left post. Tossed in just outside of the box. Fighting for it on the near sideline. It is out of bounds to Greensboro. Kale Hermanson with it. He's trying to settle it. Long feed up ahead to Omen, but too far, and Lopez is going to take it himself. Anibal Lopez will pick up that pass. So a shot on goal for Diana. Omen credit for a shot as well. Greensboro trying to pressure defensively again. This headed away by Nagash up ahead to Sierra of Avery. Cardona marking him. Sierra's going to have to send it further back, and the Cougars reset. Gafuni long pass up ahead. Garcia with it. Trying to work around Elkabus. Three Greensboro defenders playing tight defense over there on the far side. I believe that's Pintos over there. And we will see corner kick opportunity here for Averett. From the set piece, this one a low liner sent right back out. Almost identically back into the corner. Header saved by Hermosa. Alvaro Hermosa saving the header off of the noggin of Daniel Sierra. First shot on goal today for the Cougars. 23-24 to play, so approaching the midway point of the first half. Passed into Hanscom. Both teams battling for it on the near side. And Nagash trying to send it further up for Greensboro. Diana tripped up. We play on. Alvarez Del Rio with it. He'll send it across. Long feed ahead by Gutierrez. That'll be headed the wrong way by Stepurik, and Hermosa will come out and get it. Averett this year averaging a little over 4.5 shots on goal per game. Greensboro's averaging 8. Right now, 1 each. Pintos with it on the far side. Knocked out of bounds by Rudell. Again, a reminder, after the men's game today, women's soccer in action against Johnson and Wales. We'll have the Pride pregame show for you 15 minutes before, like usual. We'll give you a preview of that, our talk with Coach Mike Johnston at halftime today of the men's game. If you are staying around to catch that one, it will be a separate YouTube stream, so we will end this one following the postgame show. And it'll be a new broadcast opened up for the women's game that is tentatively scheduled for 7 this afternoon, this evening. I guess that's evening. Headed away here by Rudell, now to Medina Beltran, and he gets leveled by Gaffuni. We play on. Hermanson, a slide tackle there. He goes down. Rudell with it. He'll send it further up. Looking for Omen. Omen pulled up for a moment. Not sure if he was expecting to pass somewhere different. I think if he had kept running, he would have been in a good spot. Here's a header up ahead looking for Cardona. Too far wide. Alvarez Del Rio will redirect it back to Bradley, who sends it back to Alvarez Del Rio. Now to Sierra. And we have a stoppage. There's an injured player up the far side. I believe that's Marek Hanscom of the Cougars. And as he gets looked at, we'll see if he comes off quickly or not. He's walking under his own power. "20 minutes, 45 seconds to play. Checking in is going to be Ignacio Aron. Or Hanscom's going to be waved back on, so no substitution here. So we're ready to go again. Clock is resumed rolling. And Lopez sends this one away, headed by Stepurik. Now to Marlis, now back across to Sierra. Cardona working on him, sends it back to Alvarez Del Rio. Now to Gaffuni. Gaffuni, the pass up ahead. Elkabis whiffed on settling it, but he'll be able to corral it, sends it further ahead to Omen. Omen to Medina Beltran, whose feed up ahead to Cardona goes long. That's Elkabis rather, goes long and out of bounds. 3 corners for Averett, none for Greensboro. 3 shots for the Cougars, 2 for the Pride, 1 shot on goal each. Header over the far side was headed by Elkabis, then Omen kicked it further on. We have a stoppage. Ball sent all the way back across. And Greensboro looks like will pick up possession. Elkabis on the throw in. Deanna tries to feed it further ahead, but nobody really there. Medina Beltran gave it a look. Not able to get to it. Lopez sets it down and will kick it near side. Greensboro defense again applying some pressure. This one settled down by Omen to Medina Beltran, now looking to Deanna. Can Deanna work it a little bit further in? The Pride have really had probably the best look of the day. Deanna feeds this across the box. Omen kicks it further back out to Medina Beltran. Pass intended for Nagash, settled down by Morales of the Cougars, who's ridden down by Kale Hermanson. Long feed up ahead. That's going to be knocked aside. Pass intended there for Gavin Blanks, the freshman. It's out of bounds. Averett to throw it in. Greensboro with it. Here comes Stupuric. Long feed ahead to... I don't think Deanna was expecting it. He was looking at the sideline. The ball hit off of Jade Deanna's shoulder. Has a bunch of substitutions for Greensboro. King checks in. Garcia Avila checks in. Edry checks in. Hemington checks in. Coming out is Deanna, Medina Beltran, and I think Cardona came off as well. Under 20 minutes to go. Feed in here to Edry. That's kicked aside by Averett backer. Good job, Kale Hermanson to Gustav Omen. Omen, a feed inside, was looking for Edry. Touch now to Garcia Avila. Garcia Avila throws this the other way, was looking for King. King was going the wrong direction. Rudell settles it just past the center line to Hermanson to Nagash. Greensboro stringing together some nice passes here to Garcia Avila. Now to Hemington. Now to Elkabis. Sends this one in on the box. Header, Gustav Omen. This is a save made by Lopez. Gustav Omen has had some very good looks today. Nothing to show for it yet, but certainly seems like it's just a matter of time. For the freshman from Gothenburg, Sweden. Here comes Averett the other way now. Bradley on a carom trying to work his way further in, but almost lost it. Now it's a foot race with Nagash. Slide tackle for Nagash. Doesn't really do a whole lot. And a pass to the other side of the box. Shot attempt and a score. Averett will draw first blood here today. Good pass from one side of the box to the other. And Alvaro Hermosa has surrendered his first goal of 2025. I believe that was Joshua Garcia on the shot. Shot coming at 29:07. Right now we're going to go with Joshua Garcia on the goal. We'll wait and get official confirmation on that. Greensboro with possession. Kale Hermanson, long feed up ahead. Looking for Jalen King. That pass out of bounds. Rudell trying to settle in the far sideline, sends it further back up. And Garcia Avila tripped on the ball, was trying to trap it, ended up falling over it. Here comes Nagash up ahead to Hemington. Looking to catch Omen in the corner. Gustav Omen with it. He'll try to settle, work his way past the defender. Back to Nagash. Isak Nagash. Service into the box. That's cleared away. Here comes Kale Hermanson. Shot right at Lopez. Good look again for Greensboro. Comes up empty. Shot officially is by Garcia. Picks up his first goal of the year. Hudson Bradley getting credit for the assist. That will be his first. Headed by Rudell, now settles it, tries to send it back up the other way. His pass intended for Edry falls short. Kale Hermanson, though, will pick up the loose ball, sends it down to King. King, a long feed to Gustav Omen, trying to settle it, trying to work his way past the defender, can't do it. And again, Gustav Omen almost dangerous in front of the net for Greensboro. Hudson Bradley working his way past Omen now. Kale Hermanson takes it away. Goes right past Garcia Avila and back to Averett. Stepurik heads it in between a couple of Cougars. Averett with possession. Hemington gets in the way of the passing lane. Eddie Hemington trying to work his way around of Alvarez Del Rio, but he will send it out. Will Del Rio. Greensboro ball, 13:55 to play in the first half. Checking out here is Hanscom. Coming in as Will Davis for Averett. This one's sent down the near sideline. Hemington with it, sends it to Omen. Omen was trying to look for a touch pass to Edry. Bounced away back to Hemington, who looked like he slipped on the ball as well. Long feed up ahead to Aron. Aron gets past Stepurik, working his way in on net. Trying to find a little bit of an open lane service across the box. It's going to be turned aside. And Elkabis with it to King. And out of bounds. 13 minutes to play first half. Greensboro down 1-0. Rudell up ahead. Greensboro playing touch pass up the far sideline. Kale Hermanson, nice move past the defender. And another nice move, gets around another, but he's going to be called for a foul. And it will be Averett ball, 12:40. A little bit of a nice breeze here. We're being teased with fall this week after just a scorcher we had on Saturday for the Guilford game. I think if you ask the director of sports information, Stephen Weidenhouse, he would say it was borderline cold on Sunday for the Berry game. That one's sent out of bounds just past the Greensboro bench. Almost a turnover in front of the Greensboro goal. Able to work their way past, though. If Elkabis can get away from his defender, he's got Nagash at the far side with the crossing pass if he wants him, just to give a little bit of breathing room. Now Greensboro going to have to play defense again. This one's sent in towards the corner. Aron working around Rudell. Rudell's going to settle it. We have a whistle. And a foul on the Cougars, I believe. Hermosa to send this one skyward. That's headed back the other way. Here comes Gustav Omen. He may have a nice angle here. Omen trying to control. Might have controlled it a little bit too far in front of him, though. He'll have to settle it. Good shooting opportunity for Greensboro. Ultimately doesn't come to be. We'll see what the Pride can do with this offensive possession. Stepurik with it. Feeds it to Hemington. Right back to Garcia Avila. Axel Garcia Avila feed up ahead to Edry. Edry's been dangerous recently. He can't get it past his defender. They're going to fight for possession. Averett trying to clear. Will Davis with it. Trying to get past Nagash. He'll send this ahead to Morellis, now back to Davis, and they'll feed this on up ahead to Stepurik, but a whistle. I think it went in out of bounds. It did. Nagash will throw it in to Stepurik. Now to Hermanson, back to Stepurik. Nagash to Hermanson. He'll send it back to Stepurik. A lot of quick touches here for the Pride. Mika Rudell sends it on the ground up ahead to Elkabus. Can't get his pass around the foot of Alvarez Del Rio, and here comes Averett the other way. Long feed up ahead. Headed away by Nagash, and Hermosa will settle it down. Will Davis, the attacking Cougar there, as that one goes out of bounds. Davis almost did to Morellis. I don't know how he saved that ball. Alvarez Del Rio now. Trying to work around a couple Greensboro defenders. Nice touch pass there, a little cushion to Morellis. They continue to work through a couple Greensboro defenders, but now Stepurik with it. He'll send it in on Hermosa and ask for a little bit of help. Hermosa's long feed headed by Edry. Back and forth we go. Hemington a header. Kafuni sends the other way. Kale Hermanson now to Hemington. Long feed trying to cross looking for King, but it's going to be turned aside. Pintos with it. Now settled by Gafuni. Daniel Sierra sending this back to Lopez. Greensboro has wanted to put a little pressure on Lopez anytime he's had the ball. Jalen King bluffing as if he were going to come in on Lopez's position. Pintos feeds this down to Bradley. Bradley trying to work the near boundary. Back to Pintos. He'll send it into the corner. Bradley with it, kicked out of bounds by Stepurik. .7:41 to play. Nagash throws it into Garcia Avila. Sends it back to Oman. Possession battled for. Moses Kashindi checks in. Down goes a Cougar right in front of us. That was Bradley. Now Rudell with it up ahead to Garcia Avila. He's almost tripped up. Stepping on the ball was Hugo Morellis. He stepped on the ball and fell down, but I think it's going to be a foul called on Greensboro anyway. Certainly looked like he just lost his balance. Diego Gafuni, the senior from Greensboro, actually attended Northwest Guilford. He'll kick this one away. Gafuni feeds that one in. Kicked once, twice off of the foot of Sierra and then sent back out over the center line. Good defense there by Greensboro. That set piece ultimately doesn't lead to anything for the Cougars. Headed away by Rudell, going towards the far boundary. Kept in bounds by Aron. Averett controls down the far sideline, now trying to send it a little bit further in. Work in the middle of the pitch now. Gafuni sends this further down. Headed away by Hemington, now to Edry. Sends it to King. King puts on the brakes to hang on to possession of that one. Tries to feather that one down the far sideline. Was intercepted for a moment. Greensboro, though, does retain possession. Now sent further ahead, at least for a moment, looking for Garcia Avila. Now across to Hermanson. Hermanson long feed to Gustav Oman, who's not going to be able to catch up to it. It rolls out of bounds. We are at 5 minutes, 15 seconds to go first half. again for Greensboro. You see what they're trying to do, but the end result's still not all the way there, especially on some of these long-range passes. Alvarez Del Rio to throw in. He does to Bradley. Now to Kashindi. Taken away by Greensboro, at least for a moment. Yep, here comes Ori Edry. He's trying to settle it. He'll chip it in towards the box. Coming in is Lopez. And Lopez surveys the scene. Four and a half to go, first half. Lopez punts it. Just past the center line. Greensboro with it. It's Hemington. Almost using the official as a pick there. This one sent on to Garcia Avila. Long feed up ahead to King. King is going to run it down. King fires this one in on net. Lopez will scoop it up on a hop. Falls on it, now ready to send it up the other way. So a shot there for Jalen King. Mika Rudell trying to work his way around a defender. Nice move there. Greensboro has an opportunity the other way again. Edry to King. King feeds this one up ahead to Garcia Avila. He was looking for Edry, who was no longer in the area. Long feed the other way to Nagash. Pass to Oman was behind him. Oman settles it now to Hemington. And the pass goes wide, intended for Garcia Avila. Elkabis with it. Trying to work the far side. Settles it for a moment. Now to King. King sends this one wide. Looking for Gustav Oman. The ball went wide. And a little bit high as well. Oman can't settle it before it rolls out of bounds. I think obviously if you're Greensboro, you got to be pleased with some of the offensive pressure. They have certainly had the keeper worried a little bit at times today. Not really able to capitalize on it or turn anything into a sustained threat. We have a foul here on Gustav Oman. Perhaps a cramp as well here. So we've got a player down for Averett, and yeah, certainly the way they're looking at it could be a cramp. So we will step aside. 2:20 to go here in the first half. Greensboro trails 1-0 on the Greensboro College Sports Network. But the big number, one of Averett's, finds the back of the net. It was Garcia with the goal. Now it's Nicholas Breen with it. Breen feeds this in, taken away by Stipurik, who will send it out of bounds and almost back behind our position. Breen trying to work his way past couple of Greensboro defenders. Back and forth we go. This one sent in the air. Hermosa will make the catch. Minute 20 to go. drills it to Steperk. All of a sudden, we get a little gust of wind. We talked a little bit about how that would impact things on Sunday against Barry. Rudell, long feed up ahead, intended for King. It's turned away. Elkabis with it. He'll send it back to Hermosa. 1 minute to go in the half. Hermosa settles, sends across to Steperk. To the middle of the pitch, Hermanson. Hermanson to Garcia Avila. Little chip to Nagash here. Tries to feed this up the sideline to Gustav Omen. He's got Edry in the middle if he wants him. Omen to Edry. Shot wide! Ori Edry shot just wide of the crease. Greensboro just missed tying by a matter of inches. 30 seconds to go first half. Again, Greensboro has had some looks here in the first half. Lopez bleeding this down as we're down to 10 seconds remaining. Long feed up ahead. Hemington fighting for it. Averett's going to clear all the way down towards Hermosa, who's going to watch that one roll towards the corner and out of bounds. That is how the first half ends. 1-0 Averett, your score on the goal from Joshua Garcia. And I tell you what, Greensboro with some good looks in the first half, and we'll take a look at some of the numbers as well. We'll take a good look, if you will, at some of the numbers. But first and foremost, we will take a look at the pregame preview for women's soccer. We talked to Coach Mike Johnston before the game today. We'll go ahead and roll that for you, as well as take a look at what else is going on around the conference.
Pride pregame continues. It feels like it's been a little bit since we've had you guys here. You guys were on the road against Averett this past weekend, Coach, and just walk us through your initial thoughts on that game.
Yeah, so I thought Averett was really good. I think we scored some quality goals. We were able to attack a little bit better than I think we did against Bob Jones. You know, Averett was well organized, tough to break down, but, you know, scored some quality goals and excited about the trajectory of the team for sure.
Well, the Bob Jones game notwithstanding, we talked a little bit about the first game, about how it was the veterans that carried the weight as far as scoring offensively goes. Well, it was your freshmen against Averett, the first 2 career goals for Petroskis, first 2 for Kendall Cam. Talk a little bit about them and what they've been able to do.
Yeah, you know, I mean, both of them have been an impact since day one for us. You know, obviously we moved Kendall to the 10, and she's provided a big spark. And Kaylee out wide, I think her pace is kind of what separates her. And, you know, both goals were quality. I think, you know, I'd also be remiss if I didn't mention Alex Dawson. She had 2 really good assists in that match at Averett. And, you know, one of them, the first one was perfectly placed back post, and, you know, the second one was the ball to Kendall on our second goal. So, you know, I think the freshmen are kind of settling into their roles and providing big moments for us.
That's funny you mentioned that. One of the things that you talked to me about in the preseason was the success at the beginning of the year was largely going to be determined on how quickly do the freshmen adjust to the college game. So far, you have to like what you see.
Yeah. I mean, obviously still a lot of growth to go, right? But I think that overall, they're adjusting, and you know, obviously we've had a freshman starting at every game as well, and you know, Cheyenne's had clean sheets in each of the half that she's played so far. So, you know, we're excited about that, and again, I think the trajectory is definitely on the right path.
Yeah, 2 shutouts so far. Last year, you got your second shutout October 16th, so you're well over a month ahead of schedule in that aspect. Talk a little bit about you mentioned Dawson a moment ago. Talk a little bit about how good the back end of your defense has been and what that allows you to do offensively when you know you can trust those guys on the back end.
Yeah, I think the most important thing for me is with our back line, we just have so much depth. You know, I mean, we don't lose anything when we sub. I think both rotations have been very good. It's allowing us to play kids about 60 minutes. You know, Rosie did go 90 minutes against Bob Jones at center back, but, you know, everyone else obviously rotated through. So I think that's a big piece of it. But again, I think over the park, we're starting to kind of become adept at playing our system. Are we where we need to be? For sure, no. But we'll get there, you know. And obviously, you'd much rather start out 2-0-1 than you know 0 in the win column. So we're excited about that. But you know, we talked a lot about, you know, with these girls the other day. You know, you're only as good as your next game. You're only as good as your next rep. So you know, all focus is shift tonight, and Johnson Wells will certainly be a formidable challenge.
3 more serious questions, then we'll get into some fun stuff. I hate to back up to the Bob Jones game, but let's do it just for a second. What kind of things did you take away from that game?
Yeah, so I think the Bob Jones game was we need to dictate play in every match we play. Bob Jones is very well coached. It was really tough to break their back line. I think for me, we had spent 2 full days of training of how to break their back line, and we didn't necessarily apply it to the game. So I think it's just a message of, can we dictate the play? And to be honest with you, I think most of the games we play this year, if we dictate the play, I think we're going to be successful, right? And I think that's the challenge that I'll have for these guys is, can we dictate the play and not let them establish a rhythm? But, Bob Jones sat 6, 7 kids behind the ball at times, and it was just tough to break. But all credit to them. I mean, they're certainly well coached side.
Looking ahead to tonight's game, Johnson and Wales, what are we going to see from them?
So Johnson Wales has a really fast forward, plays up top, gave us fits down there. We came out on the 2-1 win down there last year, and we hung on. I mean, the last 10 minutes of that game, we were up against it, and Lindsey Fox made a couple big saves in that game to kind of see the game out for us. But they certainly won't be easy. Looking at their box scores, like they've got a 2-1 result over Salem, but their shots were in the 20s, and Salem shots were in the single digits. So I think that maybe they haven't finished some quality chances they've had in front of net. They also have a really good center defender that does things the right way, cleaning things up over the park. And then they have a very formidable goalkeeper. She's got a lot of size, about 5'11", moves well. So we're going to have to hit the ball on frame. We're going to have to score some quality goals tonight for sure.
Yeah, certainly on paper, these are 2 teams that are going to put the ball on net a ton. What are the keys for tonight's game?
Yeah, I think for us is, like we just mentioned, can we dictate play? I think we need to be organized in the back. So, can we not give up goals in critical moments, right? Can we be organized? And then the third thing is, can we continue to be elite in our finishing? So I thought Averett, we were elite in our finishing. So can we continue to do that? I think that in soccer, there's an old adage, right? Anybody can shoot, not anybody can finish. So can we finish our chances tonight? I think we'll be on the right side of it if we can do that.
Well, Coach, thank you so much and best of luck tonight. Let's have a little bit of fun now. We've got a couple of your players sitting over here behind the camera. I'll let you pick and choose who you want to bring up here. How do you want to do this?
Why don't we bring them both up here?
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right. So we have Brooke and Audrey over here. Why don't you guys come on over here?
Come on, Brooke. Come on, Audrey.
Coach, I'll let you. You're not going anywhere. You're not getting out of here so easily. Here, I'm going to just check and make sure we're still all in the frame here. Let's have you guys slide over. And Brooke, just a little bit more if you can. Okay, cool. All right. Well, hey, I'm going to hand you guys this mic, and Coach and I will share. I'll let you lead the interview here.
Yeah. So what would you guys say is the most fun thing about this year so far?
Definitely the people. I would say it's very high energy.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Everybody's really hardworking and willing to put in the extra reps.
Yeah. What would you guys say is one thing that you think we can work on as a group to continue to get better each and every day?
I would say just not getting down on ourselves. I feel like we're a very competitive team, so we're get easily influenced in our heads with doing well and not doing well, and sometimes that can wear and tear. But
yeah, and I think we're a really new team, and so everybody just getting closer is just going to make our team better.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10 on any particular day, how would you describe the smell of our locker room?
I would say on a good day, maybe a 5, maybe a bad day, a -2.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I would go with Brooke top 1, Abby top 2, Shay top 3.
Wow. I was going to say Hillary.
Well, here, I'll throw this
joking
one
with
over at you. Who is your favorite coach and why is it Amory? No, I'm just kidding. Tell us about what Coach Mike brings to the table and why you guys love playing for him.
He's awesome. He's great. We do this thing with Jaden where we have to say 3 nice things, and it's just easy. It's easy to say 3 nice things about all of our
you want me to
coaches.
have him leave and you can tell me how you really feel?
That would be better. That would honestly be better, yeah. But
I'd say he not only cares about us as players, but also people.
Yeah. No, these guys are great. These guys, as you can see, they're part of we call them the Redhead Crew. So we've got a sect of our team that's the Redhead Crew, and these guys are great, and they're leaders in their own right for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming by. Coach Mike Johnston just picked up his 30th win at Greensboro against Averett, looking for number 31 tonight against Johnson and Wales. Awesome. Thank you guys.
That was fun.
See?
I'm sweating.
That was good.
We're just hanging out. That's all.
Every college athlete has a story to tell, and at Greensboro College, we believe no one is better equipped to tell those stories than the athletes themselves. On the Getting to Know podcast, you'll hear the who, what, when, where, why, and how of each college athlete's journey to Greensboro and how they became a member of the Pride. We talk on and off the field, influences, hobbies, goals, and what it means to be a member of the Pride. It's all on the Getting to Know podcast on Spotify and YouTube.
You know, I just really felt like I was a person, and they really cared about you, not only as like an athlete, but, as an individual as well. And so that was one of the things that led me here, honestly.
The Getting to Know podcast from Greensboro College Athletics. We are one Pride, and these are our stories. Well, that was a quick preview of the women's soccer game scheduled for 7 o'clock this evening following the conclusion of men's soccer here against Averett. We'll take a look at what else is going on around the USA South, including a couple of games from yesterday. Yesterday's action, 3 games, Pfeiffer taking down Piedmont 2-1. Methodist a 1-0 shutout of Roanoke, and William Peace blanked Guilford 3-0. So, Guilford's men's soccer team having tough sledding against USA South opponents here in the beginning of September. Still to come this afternoon, all beginning at 7 o'clock this evening. Mary Baldwin on the road in Lexington, Virginia at Randolph. William Peace travels to Regent at 7 o'clock, and Eastern Mennonite is at Southern Virginia. That's a look at what else is coming up around the USA South. Then on Friday, Roanoke on the road at North Carolina Wesleyan. Shaw will travel to Pfeiffer, and Methodist is on the road at LaGrange. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll take a look at first half numbers. Greensboro trailing Averett 1-0 at the break on the Greensboro College Sports Network. Time now to take a look at your first half numbers. Greensboro trailing 1-0, obviously. Shots today, 5-4 in favor of the Pride right now. Shots on goal go to Greensboro as well, 3-2. 3 saves, though, for Anibal Lopez of Averett. Alvaro Hermosa has made a save, but has also surrendered his first goal allowed of 2025. 3 corners for the Cougars, and a couple of fouls each way as well. It's how things break down here after 45 minutes of play. Shots for Averett, Sierra has one on goal. Garcia has one on goal. That was the goal scored. An assist by Bradley. 2 shots that missed the mark by Marilis. And, of course, we mentioned Lopez with the 3 saves. For Greensboro, all but one shot, actually all but 2 shots have been on goal today. Hermanson has 1. Deanna has 1. Ullman has 1 of 2. And Edry missed wide just late at the end of the first half. A goal that could have been the equalizer for Greensboro. Still looking for that first score. Remember, it has been since 30 minutes to play in the second half against Guilford, the last time that the Pride found the back of the net. Averett will put it in play to start the second half. We're ready to roll. A reminder, women's soccer will come on following the conclusion of this game. Again, there'll be a new broadcast link. So close out of the window you're watching if you want to hang around with us. And we'll have a new one posted on YouTube. We're underway here, second 45, now ticking down. Cardona immediately tripped up by Gaffuni. Or at least so it appeared, but it's going to be Averett with possession. Could be the other way around. Always a little bit of feet tangling there, so it could have been Gaffuni tangled up by Cardona. Gutierrez sends it back to Lopez. A very veteran squad for the most part for Averett this year. A lot of juniors, good smattering of seniors, including netminder Lopez. Gutierrez also a senior, Gaffuni and Bradley as well. And Lopez punts this one away. Both teams fighting for it, trying to settle and control. Sent on up ahead, though, by Marilis. Passes it towards the far boundary. Tied up there by Nagash, who's got his jersey pulled, and we've got a yellow card coming. Yellow card coming here for a jersey pull on Fernando Pintos. So Greensboro with it here as they send this one away. Headed by Pintos. Averett trying to clear it from their defensive end. Elkabis sends it too far on up ahead, but it gets back to him. He'll have a second opportunity trying to work his way around the defender, Marilis. Feeds this one back to Medina Beltran. Now to Elkabis, who gets taken down. Gaffuni with it, trying to work his way around Cardona. Sends that one across. Averett now working the far side of the pitch. Garcia Barrios trying to play some defense there. It's going to go on past and be settled by Nagash back to Hermosa. Hermosa bombs this one down the other way, and it will go back to Lopez. Jay Deanna coming in on Lopez now, who will scoop it up. Lopez with the punt. High. And headed there by Haraba. Back and forth we go. Both teams fighting for a touch. Right now it's Pintos with it. Pintos caught from behind by Garcia Barrios, and now it's going to be Cardona. Cardona working past a couple defenders, feeds this up ahead to Deanna, now back to Cardona. It's a foot race, Jay Deanna with it. Deanna trying to work around the corner, shoots this one a tip. It's going to go wide. Deanna was trying to send it into the box on Cardona, but it was tipped aside by an Averett defender. I believe that was Mario Gutierrez getting in the way of that pass. It'll be a corner here for the Pride. Garcia Barrios sends it into the net. One header. Here's Gustav Omen just over. Omen just over the woodwork there. He's missed just barely on a couple of headers. I said in the first half that he was going to be a nuisance for Averett. And he has certainly proven to be that, just missing on a couple of tries. We've got an early whistle and an out of bounds here. Greensboro will throw in. Didn't take very long after that, after play resumed there. Rudell to throw it in, far side. That one headed away. Tried to settle it is Garcia Barrios. Feeds this one to Elkabis. Long feed up ahead. I don't know if he was trying to shoot it or pass it to Omen. Either way, it goes out of bounds. Five minutes gone in the second half. The Johnson & Wales bus has arrived with the women's soccer team that will take on the Pride this evening. Cardona with it. Now Deanna trying to work around a couple defenders. Deanna feeds this one on up ahead. Now he's showing off the long legs and the speed. Deanna trying to work around a defender. To the top of the box, here's Kale Hermanson. Hermanson dribbling it now to Medina Beltran. Long feed back across to Nagash. Isak Nagash sends that one in and snagged by Lopez. Saw Greensboro women's soccer team score on a couple long-range goals against Averett. Kendall Cam from way downtown. Final goal that the Pride women's team scored against the Cougars on Saturday. Header missed there by Pintos. And now turning the corner and sending that one well out of bounds was Merrick Hanscom. Almost all the way up the hill into the parking lot that's behind main building. 38-37 to play. A little bit of confusion for Greensboro as far as who needs to be where and where Alvaro Hermosa needs to put this ball. Long feed up ahead off of the side of the face of Gaffuni, it looks like. Now up ahead, Cardona trying to get to it. It's going to be settled by Alvarez Del Rio, and it will head out of bounds. Believe it'll be a corner here for Greensboro. No, just a throw in here will be Mika Rudell. Rudell's throw in, missing Hermanson. Now Deanna misses it as well. We play on. There's a header now to Gustav Omen off of the side of Omen. It's going to be Greensboro that ultimately comes down with the loose ball. There's a Cougar down as the ball goes to the near left side post. And we have a whistle, we have a stoppage, we have an injured player. So we will step aside here for a moment. Greensboro trails 1-0 on the Greensboro College Sports Network.
Greensboro College. Greensboro College. Welcome home to Greensboro College. To Greensboro College.
Injured player was number 21, Hugo Marlis, coming in, Ignacio Aron. And we're about ready to get this one back underway. Greensboro will have possession when we resume. Elkabus with it, trying to work his way around Garcia, the only goal scorer on the afternoon. We'll have a corner opportunity here for Garcia Barrios. Greensboro trying to put this set piece in. 37 minutes to play. Everybody trying to get into position in front of the net. Service by Garcia Barrios. It's high. It's headed by Gustav Oman, and it's out of bounds. He's trying to work his way to the backside of the box. Comes up empty. Lopez with it. Sends this one on up ahead to Gutierrez. Now further up the far side. Kale Hermanson trying to get in the way of that passing lane, but it's going to stay with Averett to Haraba. Both teams fighting for it up the far sideline, sending this further back in towards the middle of the pitch now is Hanscom. That pass short of Diana. Although I guess when you're as tall as Jay Diana is, everything's short of Diana. Kale Hermanson with it. To Rudell. To Elkabus. Back into the middle to Hermanson. Hermanson feeds this up ahead, was looking for Garcia Barrios. It's turned aside by the Cougars. Gavin Blanks. Medina Beltran getting in the way of it. Greensboro with possession again. Elkabus feeds it right in front of the Greensboro bench to Garcia Beltran, to Garcia Barrios. Now to Medina Beltran. And back up the other way. That pass intended for Hanscom. Hanscom whiffed on it. And Greensboro again with possession as they cross the center line. Not for long, though. Possession again to Averett. Ignacio Aron. And Fernando Pintos over there trying to work the far sideline. Now a long feed for Greensboro. Diana trying to box out his defender, and he'll send this one skyward. Garcia Barrios tries to head it. He's knocked down, and it's going to be settled by Lopez. Garcia Barrios went up for it and almost ended on the back of his defender. Fed on up ahead and again whiffed on by Hanscom. He's missed on a couple passes now. Isak Nagash sends this one on up ahead looking for Diana. It's going to be headed the other way. Now by Hermanson. Now Rudell to Medina Beltran. Medina Beltran looking for Oman. That's intercepted. Gafuni sends this the other way. Hermanson getting in the way. Check that was Oman. Foot race down the far sideline. An opportunity for Averett. Nope, Greensboro going to get to it again. Nagash. Passing it around the legs of his defender. Now feeds it on up ahead to Diana. Jade Deanna having to get past a couple players. He's ridden down. And it's going to be Averett ball checking back in as Hugo Morales coming out as her own. It was that temporary sub while Morales was getting checked out. Now they will throw it in. Does Averett Omen, the header to Deanna. Deanna trying to work around a couple defenders. It goes out of bounds again. Greensboro again to throw in. Coming up on 32 minutes to play. Pride still need one to tie. Rudell to throw in. Headed by Hermanson. Now out in front. Garcia Barrios kicks it onto the street. Coming up on, again, 32 minutes to play. Lopez trying to clear, sends this one well down the pitch, headed by Rudell. He can't find it. He's looking for it. It's Nagash that comes down with it. Now to Cardona. Cardona trying to send this up ahead to Deanna, but Deanna was going the other way. Headers every which way. Looking for someone to settle. That someone may be Cardona. Cardona to Garcia Barrios, getting past one defender, trying to cut the corner, can't do so yet. Now trying to take a little bit of a longer approach as Greensboro extends to the far sideline. Now this one's sent in and headed away by Averett. Stepuric heads it back to Hermosa. To Rudell, who crosses right in front of our vantage point to Hermanson. Hermanson, long feed down for Elkabus. That one goes out of bounds. And an offside's called anyways. 31 minutes to play. Again, nothing else in the USA South will even get started until this game goes final. Other three games today beginning at 7. Anibal Lopez has saved all 3 shots he's faced today. Alvaro Hermosa 1 out of 2 on saves. And that is the difference so far. Headed by Stepuric, now Medina Beltran sending it the other way. With the clear for Greensboro. Cardona trying to settle that air ball down. Hermanson getting past his defender and a whistle. Common foul. And here goes Elkabus. Elkabus curls this one to the far side, looking for, I believe that's Garcia Barrios over there. Racing towards the corner. Yep, Garcia Barrios shoots this one, or passes it rather, passes it out of bounds. Big changes here for Greensboro. King, Garcia, Vila, Hemington, and Edry in. Deanna, Medina Beltran, Cardona, and Elkabus. No, check that. It'll be Garcia Barrios out.
Substitution for Greensboro, number 32, Jalen King, number 34, Edry, number 19, Axel Garcia, and number 16, Eddie Hemington.
So we'll see what the fresh legs do here for Greensboro. They've outshot Averett 8-5, and more shots on goal by 1, 3-2. 29-12 to play. Lopez feeds this one on up ahead. Hemington redirects it. Elkabus settles it. Sends this one down. Back and forth we go. King with the header to keep it back in bounds. Edry's pass to King goes wide. And out of bounds will go to the Cougars. Joshua Garcia, the junior midfielder from Sanford, North Carolina. Still the only goal in today's game. Here comes Hermanson. Hermanson tries to send that one in towards the box. It's redirected. Sun's really peeking out for the first time in a while. Headed out of bounds by Nagash into the bleachers. We've talked about how overcast it's been today. First time we're actually having to shield our eyes a little bit. And again, the ball goes out. 28 minutes to play. Thrown in by Averett, taken away by Greensboro. Long feed up ahead, looking for Edry. Edry's going to be cut off there by Garcia. That goes out of bounds. Alvarez Del Rio to throw in. Long feed up ahead. Greensboro, though, able to intercept, and here come the Pride. Garcia Avila up ahead to Oman. Oman to the front of the box. Here's Deanna. Deanna's tripped up. We play on. Jade Deanna was tripped right in front of the box. Check that. Jalen King tripped up right in front of the box. Greensboro's bench cannot believe it. Jalen King was a great feed for King, but he was tripped up. And we continue on. Jalen King's had a couple really good looks. Greensboro as a team has had some really good looks. Gustav Oman has just missed on a couple today. Up the sideline to Rudell. Rudell curls this in towards the middle. Nobody there to receive that pass. However, a hustling Garcia Avila with it. Now to Hermanson. And it'll be taken down by Gavin Blanks. Now Axel Garcia Avila with it. Greensboro trying to mount some speed here. That's taken away. Mario Gutierrez with it. Feeds this up ahead to Blanks. And we have a whistle here and a foul, I believe, on Garcia Avila. "26 minutes to play. Garcia puts it back in play. It's Sierra the far side. Long feed up ahead for Sierra. It's going to be a foot race headed there by Averett. Greensboro's going to settle and kick it out of bounds. Mika Rudell ends that threat, at least for the immediate future. Under 26 to play. And Averett will have a corner here, far side. Far right corner. Here's the service sent in on net. Goes wide and turned aside. Sent in again by Averett, trying to catch Greensboro napping. It's Pinto. Fires that one in defense, turned aside again by Greensboro. Good defense to the near side of the cage. Will be yet another corner. They came in bunches against Guilford on Saturday. Now we're kind of starting to see that again here. This one fed into Sierra. Sierra tripped up there, but we play on. Greensboro racing down, crossing the center line. Garcia Avila now to King. Jalen King to the left-hand side. King fires this one across the box. Coming out and grabbing it is Lopez. Gustav Oman was trying to cross the far side of the box. Lopez, though, falls on it. And the netminder punts it away. Hemington with it. Chip up ahead to King. King trying to work into the center again, now to Hermanson, now to Elkabis. Elkabis to King. Was looking for Hemington. Shot, or the pass rather, went wide. It's going to be turned over. Greensboro missing on another pass. Stepuric with it. Nagash now looking for Omen, who I think stumbled a little bit there. Headed by Rudell, and it'll be Elkabis coming to get it. Elkabis to King. King over the middle to Hermanson. Hermanson plays it with a shoulder, now sends it across to Nagash, who crosses the center line. Isak Nagash feeds this down to Gustav Omen down the far sideline. Omen across, and a shot and a save there off of the foot of Garcia Avila. Lopez sends this one away. Headed away by Stepuric. Teams exchanging volleys. It'll be Averett crossing the center line with possession. Now they cross back. Gifuni trying to get past a couple defenders. Feeds this one towards a teammate, racing towards the corner. Nice pass over the middle. It's going to be blocked aside in the front of the box. Greensboro with possession. Here comes Kale Hermanson now. Hermanson, a nice little chip around his defender, Sierra. Long feed up ahead to Edry, but Lopez is going to clear it. Up ahead to Hanscom. Elkabis getting around his defender, knocked him down for a moment, but we play on. Hanscom with it. Now to Gavin Blanks, the freshman. Blanks trying to get around Rudell. Rudell rides him off the ball. Greensboro forcing another turnover. Rudell, long feed up ahead again. Jalen King putting on the afterburners, getting around his man, but he's going to have to race to keep it in. He does, fires that one in, and kicked out of bounds. Good job by the defender. The Averett back, preventing another opportunity for Ori Edry. Coming up on almost 20 minutes to play. Mika Rudell will throw it in. Shots still favor the Pride, 9-7. This one headed, settled by Hemington. Pops this one up in the air. Now King with it. Back to Hemington, a header, and taken away. Hermanson was looking to get in possession of it, but headed out of bounds by Garcia. And a Greensboro has been called for an offsides again. I'll tell you, I did not see that one as being offsides, but .20 minutes remain in the second half. Lopez sends this one towards the center line. Kale Hermanson racing to get to it, but it's going to be Averett, at least for a moment. Pintos overran it, and the Cougars have to send it further back to Lopez. Headed by Hermanson. Sierra with it. Kale Hermanson taken down, trying to fight for possession of that one. And a feed up ahead towards Will Davis. But Elkabis will fire that one out of bounds and prevent a scoring threat by the Cougars. Some changes coming here. Eric Quintanilla checks in for Will Davis. And a lot of Greensboro starters checking back in. Cardona, Medina Beltran, Diana Garcia Barrios, all back in. Elkabis Hemington, and Axel Avila all checking out, as is Edry. Kind of getting into crunch time for the Greensboro Pride, so they're putting some of that starting unit back in. Max Hall's also checked in. Long feed up ahead. Greensboro trying to settle in front of the net. Shot and a score. Merrick Hanscom on the ground, right-hand side of the net, past a diving Alvaro Hermosa. And Averett has doubled their lead now 2-0 as the men's team looking for revenge of what the women did up in Danville on Saturday. For Hanscom, the sophomore, that is his first goal. .30 to play. So Garcia, a goal in the first half. Hanscom, a goal in the second. Greensboro's offensive woes continue. Ignacio Aron checking in for Averett. Kale Hermanson sends this down the far side. Now chipped in towards Cardona. And another whistle. Averett with it. Here is Gaffuni. He'll send it across to the far sideline, that is. Sent back to Lopez, who again clears. Headed by Nagash. Garcia Brios now to Medina Beltran, now to Cardona. Cardona up ahead to Jay Diana. Diana, and nice slide tackle made there by the goalkeeper Lopez. And out of bounds. Axel Garcia Avila about to check back in for Medina Beltran. Greensboro now 10 shots on goal. Let's check that 10 shots, 5 of them on goal. Here comes the throw in, headed away. It'll be Mika Rudell getting to it. He'll send that one towards Diana. That one's headed away. Kale Hermanson tries to fire that one back in towards the box. Garcia Avila to head it, and a shot airmailed off of the left foot of Jalen King. Greensboro has missed a couple of shots by a wide margin today. For Jalen King, that is his first shot attempted. Lopez sends this one on up ahead. Chested there by Quintanilla. And it goes out of bounds. Stays with Averett. Hermanson to Diana. Diana trying to get around his defender. He's tripped up. The defender, that is. Diana stays on his feet. It's taken away by Averett. Now back away to Kale Hermanson. Hermanson going in towards the box. King with a chipper. Here's Cardona. And again, a slide save made by Lopez. Greensboro, I think, is safe to say, has gotten the best of the looks today, but the shots have found the back of the net for the Cougars. Here's a corner for the Pride. King sends this one in towards the box, a little long, headed there by Rudell. Now another header. This one sent in. Cardona, another shot by, saved by Lopez. Don't know how he was able to get to that one. Here's Garcia Barrios. That one's also deflected by traffic out in front. Another opportunity for Greensboro as they pepper the goal, but not able to come up with anything. Hall fires this one in towards Lopez. Lopez goes up to get it. A flurry by Greensboro here as we approach the late stages of the second half, but again, coming up empty are the Pride. $14 shots to 8. Substitution here, checking in, is Hudson Bradley. Coming out, Marek Hanscom. Possession fought for down the far sideline. Greensboro will throw it in. Stupuric with it. A bad pass. Was looking for Hall. Didn't have near enough on it. Kale Hermanson's going to get in the way and take it away. Rudell feeds this one up ahead. Hermanson. Little cushion back to Cardona, who just had a great look moments ago. Hall to Garcia Avila. Works around his defender. Now to Cardona, trying to box out his man. Cardona, nice move there as they continue to work their way up the pitch. Here's King. Winding in towards the middle. Nobody home for that pass. And Stupuric heads it again towards the center mark. Taken by Hermanson. Now to Hall. Hall surveying the options. Getting in the way of that pass was Blanks. Out of bounds. Stays with the Pride. Long feed up ahead to Deanna. Deanna trying to get around one man. Cannot. And it is Gaffuni with it. Gaffuni to Sierra. Now back to, or towards Sierra rather. And Mario Gutierrez there as well. A little bit of confusion as far as who's supposed to be where for Averett. Gutierrez sends this one up ahead, knocked down by Hall. And a whistle for that one going out of bounds and a substitution. Hugo Morales checking back in. Joshua Garcia done for the day potentially with 12:50 to go. Chested here by Gavin Blanks, loses it out of bounds. Off of his defender, however, and Bradley will throw it in. Rudell sends this one skyward, headed there by Gaffuni, and here comes Hall. Hall sends it the other way, but the only player in the vicinity is Pintos. And taken away by Garcia Barrios. Sergio Garcia Barrios working the right-hand side, approaching the box, and fires this one high again, and out of bounds. 15th shot of the game for Greensboro. They've picked up now 8 shots on goal to Averett's 3. Lopez feeds this up ahead. Max Hall will head it towards the corner. Jade Deanna cuts it off. Deanna trying to get around one man. Can't quite, so he pokes it back to Hall. Hall was looking for King, I believe. Sent it a little bit too far. It's going to be a foot race to the far boundary. King pushed out of bounds. Greensboro will throw it in. Rudell to throw it in. Winds up, and here's the throw. Headed by Hermanson, and out of bounds again. Well, unless something changes, Greensboro heading towards their first loss of the year, and I think you could describe this one as woulda, coulda, shoulda. Taken away in the middle by the Pride. Cardona fighting for it, but it's ultimately going to be Sierra that comes down with it. Headed away there by Aron. Rudell gets around him, feeds it up ahead to Cardona. Cardona pokes this one ahead. He's looking for Garcia Avila. It's going to be headed away, though, by Gutierrez. And when I say woulda, coulda, shoulda, I don't mean to take anything away from Averett today, but Greensboro has missed some opportunities. Averett has very much capitalized on theirs because they have not had a ton of really good looks today, but when they have had them, they've been able to put the ball in the back of the net. That's the mark of a good team, is capitalizing on your opportunities, because you never know in this game whether you'll get a lot or just a few. Possession fought for, taken away by Haraba. We have a whistle. And it will be Greensboro. Check that, rather. It'll be Averett, rather, with the ball. .9:14 to play. Averett sending this one in towards the box, kicked away by Cardona. Cardona looking for some help in the form of Hermanson. Hermanson misses. It'll go right back to him, though. He'll fight with it. Garcia Avila trying to settle it and keep it away from his defender. He does for the moment. He's tripped up, though. He goes out of bounds. Off of Garcia Avila, so Bradley will throw it in. This one kicked high, out of bounds. 8.5 to go. Gaffuni with it. Crossing pass all the way to Pintos. Getting past his man. Now back to Gaffuni, who sends this one in towards the box. Taken away, though, by Hall, at least for a moment. Kale Hermanson going for it, but here comes Averett the other way. Shot by Sierra, blocked out in front. Sierra's shot was blocked by a couple of Greensboro defenders, now fighting for possession up the far sideline. We play on there. Greensboro throws it in. And it goes out of bounds. 7:49 to go. More substitutions coming. Will Davis, Merrick Hanscom, Joshua Garcia checking in for the Cougars. Elkabis in for Hall for Greensboro, and Gustav Oman coming in for Sergio Garcia Barrios. Coming out for Averett is Blanks and Quintanilla and Aron as well. And we have a whistle again, a common foul on Averett. 7:30 to go. Hermosa to go out and get it. Greensboro's going to have to make a lot happen in a little amount of time. Right now it's Jalen King feeding this ahead to Garcia Avila. Chips this one on up ahead. Lopez coming out to get it. Here's Gutierrez. Tries to clear. He does. Rudell sending this one out of bounds over the bench of the Cougars. Bradley to throw it in. He's looking past Davis. Instead, it's going to be taken by Elkabus up ahead. Now to Cardona. Cardona, long feed towards the corner. Can Ullman win the foot race? Gustav Ullman does get there. Now to Jay Diana. Diana past one man, can't get to the other one, overruns the ball, and it's taken back away by Averett. Possession battled for. It's Averett coming up the far side. Nagash trying to wrestle it down. I think Greensboro were saying that ball went out of bounds. He played on for another moment. And we have was that a push there? Alvaro Hermosa involved in it, as well as a couple of Averett players. Yeah, it'll be a push on Kale Hermanson. Kind of after that play was over. A lot of angry shouting following that play and extracurricular activities. Towards the far boundary, taken by Averett. And sent back the other way, and again out of bounds. Hermosa, long feed up ahead. King misses the header, sent back the other way, but Greensboro will keep it. In the middle third, now send it to their offensive third, Mika Rudell. His pass intercepted, sent back in Rudell's direction, and taken by Will Davis. Davis getting past Rudell, runs into Stepurik, loses possession. Here comes Stepurik. His pass attempted for Garcia Avila goes wide. And we're slowly starting to see Averett more and more in their offensive third of the pitch, as Ullman kicks that one out of bounds. To Kale Hermanson. Now to Elkabus, who's going to have to race to settle it. He will in the near boundary. Sends this one up ahead to Garcia Avila. Long run for Axel. Fires this one in, and Lopez will skid to his knees. And we have another stoppage. I think Alvarez Del Rio was down for a moment in front of the Averett net. Nicholas Breen checking in. I'm guessing Alvarez Del Rio's coming out. 4:16 remaining. Lopez with it. And he'll punt it away. Again, a reminder, the women's game against Johnson and Wales beginning about 45 minutes following the conclusion of this game. It'll be a separate stream on YouTube, so close out of the window you're on and rejoin us again about 15 minutes before kickoff in the Greensboro College Sports Network for the Pride pregame show. Coach Mike Johnston and company looking to continue their winning ways, 2-0-1 this year. Coach Johnston picked up his 30th win at Greensboro on Saturday against Averett. Looking to go ahead and distance himself from that number and pick up win number 31 tonight. will be without a key figure. We'll tell you about it in the pregame show. We'll see how Greensboro does as far as filling in a couple of important roster spots this evening. Lopez went down to get that ball. He's rubbing the back of his head. Greensboro's contending that he was not touched, at least by them. .3:14 to play. And Lopez boots it away. Breen with it. Now headed the other way. Greensboro's Deanna trying to settle it. He gets around his defender. He does for a moment, but ends up just running into a couple of Averett defenders. He's slow to get up. Ball up on the far boundary. Nagash with it. It goes out of bounds. Averett to throw it in. 2:30. So for Greensboro, what's coming up next is a trip to Mid-Atlantic Christian on Saturday. That is a 2 p.m. start to that contest. Here comes Jalen King, fires this one, and it's saved. It would have been just wide of the post anyways. Good look for King, but yeah, it was going to be just out of the post. Greensboro's final home non-conference matchup will be on the 17th against Columbia of South Carolina. That is next Wednesday rather at 4:30. Next time they'll be home after that will be October the 1st, beginning of USA South play against Brevard, 6:30 that evening. Greensboro allowed 13 corner kicks against Guilford on Saturday, just 4 against Berry on Sunday, and so far 6 allowed today. As coming off, the injured player is Bradley. I think it's the second time he's had to be helped off today. Juan Haraba checking in. Two minutes to play here in half number one of our doubleheader, game number one. Lopez sends that one away, headed by Kale Hermanson. Hermanson tries to chip this a little bit further along, but Averett gets in the way of that passing lane. Again, Johnson and Wales and Greensboro women's soccer about to start warming up here in a matter of minutes. Fall sports are indeed in full swing here. Football begins their home slate, the home opener against Roanoke on Saturday. That is a noon kickoff. First ever matchup between those two squads as Roanoke has brought their football program back for the first time since the 1940s. Cardona with it. Fires this one a long ways across. A crossing pass to Ullman. Chips it in on Deanna. That one is going to go to the other side of the box. Nothing doing. And out of bounds. A late look for Greensboro. Doesn't lead to an opportunity. We're under 40 seconds. Rudell throws it in. Hermanson tries to settle it. Ball just sitting there on the left side of the box. Finally cleared up ahead by Averett, and a foul called on Rudell. "15 seconds, and that's Greensboro's not going to be able to pull it off here today. They'll pick up their first loss of the season and drop to 2-1-2. Kicked away by Gutierrez. And in some ways, Greensboro has to be left thinking they kicked this one away a little bit. But credit to Averett picking up the win today. The Cougars improved to 2-1-1, and the Pride fall to 2-1-2. Take a look at the numbers now. Total shots 16-9 in favor of the Pride. Shots on goal 8-3 in favor of Greensboro. Corner kicks go 6-3 to Averett. Fouls 5-3. Greensboro committing the 5. And you look at some of the individual numbers today. Shot leaders for the Cougars. Sierra had 2, one of them on goal. Hanscom had 2, one of them on goal. It was a goal. And Marlis had a couple of shots as well. 1 shot on goal. Garcia, that was a score, the first score, the game-winning goal, if you will. And then also Pintos had a shot on goal as well, or shot rather, as did Davis. Lopez made 8 saves in the clean sheet. For Greensboro, Kale Hermanson, 2 shots, one of them on goal. Leo Cardona with 2 shots, both on goal. Elcabis with a shot, or Elcabis rather with a shot. Garcia Barrios with 2 shots. Deanna 2 shots, both of them on goal. Omen 3 shots, 1 on goal. He had a couple really close misses at points this afternoon. Garcia Vila had a shot on goal. King with 2 shots, 1 on goal, and Ori Edry had a shot as well. Alvaro Hermosa made 1 save, gave up 2 goals. And that will pretty much wrap things up here for us today. Again, we've got to get ready for women's soccer about to begin their warm-up period, so that'll wrap things up on the men's side of thing. The Pride fall to Averett 2-0, your final score. And again, they're back in action at Mid-Atlantic Christian on Saturday, back at home against Columbia of South Carolina next Wednesday. Well, as we get set for the women's game, again, a reminder, if you're hanging around for that, that's going to be on a separate stream, so close out of your window and open the new one. We'll kick off with the Pride pregame show about 15 minutes prior to the game beginning. But a big thank you to all of our game day staff and our Director of Sports Information, Stephen Weidenhouse. I'm Kendrick Fruits. If you're not staying around with us, I'm wishing you a green and white good night. This has been a presentation of Greensboro College Athletics on the Greensboro College Sports Network.